the hard thing sucks, but it's good for you.
Do you remember the moment you realized your childhood story is not like anyone else's?
There's only one regret I have about my family is that I didn't spend a lot of time when I was younger.
Talking about going into drugs and stuff, was there ever a time when the weight of adoption actually really hit you hard?
I think when people made fun,
Speak to young Lucky, what would you tell him?
stop the cutting corners, brother. Do the squats, do the lunges.
The early age scars, where else do these scars show up in your adult life?
If you listened or watched the podcast, you've gathered that I was quite a naughty kid, but it's now affecting my son.
Your mental space, how do you protect it?
You have to have a hobby or something.
If someone out there that's listening today is broken and feels unwanted, what would you say to him? What do you say to those people that come to you?
What would you have to do if you had to restart your life?
When you realize running is just more than exercise.
So what was weird is when I was at school, I used to run with this guy. And at school, we had to do a ring road every day at Saints.
This episode is powered by Gym Store, your one-stop shop for commercial grade and home gym equipment.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to South Africa's #1 health and wellness podcast, The Endure Edge. Today's guest has a story, and we're leading up to World Adoption Day on the 8th of November. When this episode launches, we'll probably be a week. It will probably be a week ahead of World Adoption Day. Today's guest has a story that you're gonna feel. He grew up between two worlds. He had a name that didn't match the face. A childhood that could have broken him, but has built him. You will recognize the voice from Jacaranda FM, Lucky du Plessis.
Yes. How's it? Oh, you know,
How you, bud?
Yeah.
I'm so excited to finally have you. We've been talking for a while.
We've been talking for a while now, yeah. Yeah, it's good to be here. The podcast is doing well.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. And I'm glad to lead up to World Adoption Day with your story. It's very exciting. It's a very important day.
It's an important day for me as well. I do champion it every year. I do post a photo about it and just say to those people that have adopted, that are thinking about adopting. It really is. It's an incredible thing because it's you're changing a human's life. Like, you're really giving them one of the greatest things. And when I used to do stand up, I used to say this: it's the second best gift in the world. Number one is a PlayStation 5.
Number one is a place, say that again?
PlayStation 5. Yeah, I used to say that about stand up, but it is. It really is one of the greatest gifts, and it's an incredible thing that people do. And you know what was weird is when I was adopted, I used to see people. So when I was adopted, it was a very new concept. It wasn't, and especially in the very segregated South Africa that we grew up in,
Yes.
it wasn't something. Guys that are on our age, it was very unlikely that you see a black child with a white family. Now you don't know who's with you. You don't know which child mixes. You don't, and that's amazing for me to see. That is also incredible. So anyone that has adopted, that's watching us, listening, incredible thing, and honestly, so well. So thank you.
Yeah, and I also think it's something that is still not spoken about enough.
Yeah.
I don't think even families that adopt speak about it enough.
Yeah, listen, I think, and it's always such a strange thing, is because there are some adopted kids that, if you're a black child being adopted by a black family, there's that whole question of, do they tell them where they're from, and obviously if you're a black child adopted by a white family, obviously the signs are there. You know what I'm saying? You're pretty much, you're standing out, but it's wild. And I've had a few chats with a few kids that are adopted and feel an outsider to their family, and they've asked me questions, and we've sat down and spoken about it, and I say to them, listen, you shouldn't see yourself as an outcast, as an outsider. Yes, you're different. Yes, you might come from somewhere else, but your family that's adopted you love you as much as they love their kids as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I had your friend Temba on the podcast last week, and something he said, which I've never thought of, and he said to me, Jacques, for the first time at 30 years old, I've got someone, when his kid was born, I've got someone that looks like me.
Yes.
I've never had that.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow,
Same as me.
That's blown my mind. He's like, I've never had someone that looks like me.
That happened to me. My son was 3. When my children were born, maybe it's a man thing, but I think babies look like babies.
Yeah, they all look the same.
People are like, oh my God, he looks like you. I'm like, does he?
The Oros man. One of my kids were born.
Yeah.
My daughter, actually, when she was born, I remember, I was like, no, this is the Oros man.
And I remember my son running to me, and he ran to me, jumped in my arms, and I was sitting on the floor, and I looked at him, and it was the first time I'd seen it. And also, because I'm adopted, that was a game changer. That was so cool. It was like a feeling that you can't explain.
And you like, as someone that's never been around adoption or even spoken about it, like you don't think about that.
But do you look like your mom or your dad?
Yeah. So you see, so I've got my dad's height. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know I can't remember what people have said.
No, because what's wild is, so my brothers and sisters, so my oldest brother looks like my mom.
Okay.
Then my sister is a mixture of the two. Then my second sister is my mom. And then my brother, the one I got adopted.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've got a lot of questions between brothers and moms.
But that one, he is my dad. Like, you can't, if you, like, now older, he's becoming, growing, evolving, and it's wild. So to see that kind of genetics is a crazy thing.
Cool. I want to go back onto your story a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I also want listeners that don't know your story just to understand where you're coming from. And I know we've got to cut it because of time and all of that. So we're going to try and get into the important parts. But take me back to the tough times.
So, yeah, man, listen, it's, I call it the eye-open moment, kind of when I started to realize things. But it starts off in Kimberley, Northern Cape. I'm then taken from the lady that's my dad's girlfriend at the time, took me from my dad. He went to work one day, and I used to always do the same routine. He'd box in the morning, and then he would walk me to school. He'd carry me, and we'd walk to school. And he had an energy about him, and the reason I remember this energy about him, because I understand a little bit more about myself, because I was like that. He would say hello to everyone, and he would shake hands, and he would talk to everyone in that town he would speak to. And I kind of get that from him in a sense, I feel, because I'm I'm one of those oaks at a restaurant, I'm like, yeah, it's God, look, hey, play still. So then she took me from him, and we traveled from Kimberley to Joburg, but not on a train, not in a car. We walked, and we traveled for far. And then when we got, listen, it's one. I say, and I've said this before. There's a famous photo. Well, it's not a famous photo. It's many famous paintings our generation's parents had in their house, and it's an open field. You have these hills. And then you have a little tiny house in the corner, and it's like Highveld. And it's many of our parents had these like paintings in their house.
Yes, yeah.
And
like an oil painting.
Yes, like an oil painting. And this is what this looked like. And I don't know where it was. I'm not good with geography, but we were walking, and there was a house ahead, and we were walking, and we traveled for days, months on end. And then eventually we got to this place, and this woman looked after us. Oh, no. Yeah, we looked after us. Then one day, because she took me from my father, I stopped speaking. So I could speak Tswana, and I stopped speaking.
As far as I read, this was a kidnap.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a kidnap, because it wasn't. My dad didn't press charges against it, and when he found out where I was, he wasn't alarmed. He wasn't like, oh my gosh. So,
and this is your biological
dad? This is my biological father. Now, and I don't know why she did it, but anyways, yeah.
Okay.
But also, it ended up being, but so. We're walking. She says to me one day, "Listen, I want to go get some groceries," and I used to just nod yes or no. Cool. Let's go get groceries. And on the way to get groceries, two men come out.
How old were you now? Sorry.
Now I would assume around 3-ish.
Okay.
They jump out the bush, and they ended up like pointing a gun at me, pointing a gun at her, and they raped her.
And you remember this clearly?
Yeah, like vivid. Like this was horrible. And they raped her, and the screams that she had. I still had nightmares about it until I was about 13.
Sure.
I used to wake up in the night like with sweats and like hearing her scream, because that scream was so, you could just, it was horrendous. And we'd been coming back from the shops, and then the packets were falling, and these men had run into the bushes. The packets were falling, and I was trying to pick up everything. It was an absolute nightmare. And then she decided after like a few days being at this woman's house that she now wants to leave. So we left, and we got to another house. But we traveled for like 2-3 days. I can't remember because when you're a kid, time is different. And we got to this man's house, and then this man was quite abusive. He yelled at me a lot. Don't touch my things, and everything was precious about him or whatever. And she stayed with him. But what was weird is she had just been through a traumatic experience. Now, obviously, this could have been months later, but I don't know. And then she was with another abusive man, and I didn't understand it either. And this carried on for a while, and then one day he went to work, and she decided, and she burnt his place to the ground. And then we fled from there, and then we got to the train station, and that train station took us into central CBD, Johannesburg. And I remember driving into CBD because it was at night. And later on, when I would watch movies, you always hear the stories of, I want to go to New York City and the big lights and all this. And then driving into Johannesburg, CBD, that's what I saw. Obviously coming from Kimberley and, nothing, and seeing this was the trains, the cars, the bustling, the city it was alive. It was wild. And I remember like when I was watching movies, like, oh my God, that's kind of the experience that I had. And then we got to Johannesburg, and then I started going to school. She was like, well, I got to send you to school. And I went to school, and apartheid had just kind of, I think it was 91, it kind of ended, but they had decided that it doesn't matter which area you're in. If there's a child in your area, and they must go to your school.
Zoning wasn't an
Zoning
issue.
was a thing, and I was in Florida. So I started going to school, but I didn't know anyone, and I was the first black child at the school.
In an Afrikaans school, if I'm understanding it correctly.
Yeah, so it was it was weird because the thing is, what was weird to me is I couldn't speak a word of Afrikaans. And these kids couldn't speak English. And it's obviously now the turn of apartheid. It's a new South Africa, and this black child's in this. And I remember going in, and the teacher said, does anyone lucky to sit next to him? And all the kids were just quiet. Bro. My brother was like, hey, he was my brother then, but he was like, hey, you're lucky you can come sit next to me. And then kind of that's how our friendship began. He would speak Afrikaans to me, and I would speak English to him, and we would communicate like that. So I could, and I think because I was from Kimberley.
Was this Shaw?
Shaw, yeah, this is Shaw. Because I was from Kimberley, I could understand. There's a lot of colours in Kimberley, and there was a lot of Afrikaans. I think I could understand Afrikaans.
Yeah.
So yeah, there I was, and Brew, me and him, dude, I loved school, man. I think it was because it was just kids being kids. No matter the homework, no matter the things you had to do. So because what happened was when we got to Johannesburg, now the woman that took me from my dad, Portia, she became, and rightly so, she became like, I'd say ill. She started using drugs, drinking. She just became hectic. And I think it's one of the reasons why I've never taken any hectic drugs. Like I smoked weed and I took shrooms once on a boat. But other than that, that's it. So because I saw her and
what happens to a person?
Exactly. And she just became, she kind of went from becoming this person to just going backwards, and everything was shouting and yelling. And I remember I would get home from school and there was just broken glass everywhere from bottles and whatever. Sure. And I used to clean all of this up, throw it away, take my school clothes. I only had one uniform, So I'd take my school clothes, I'd hang it up, I'd wash it, hang it up. And then in the morning, I would get dressed in it. In summer, that's okay. In winter, it doesn't dry.
Yeah.
So till today, even this morning it happened. If I go for a run or if I swim and I get out the pool, I have to dry myself like this. Dude, I get PTSD. So today we were at Motherland and I was having coffee, but I'd run and I didn't bring a shirt, and I'm sitting there and everyone's talking and all I could think is, I need to get out of here.
Like the anxiety has kicked in.
The anxiety's kicked in. Until today, I cannot, I used to say this also in stand-up comedy. I used to say the difference between me and my white family is my white family likes to drip dry. and I used to say, it's such a white thing. It's such a white thing. Drip drying. Black people, you get up and you right now. But it is. But me and Shaw, we were mates. We were the things we did together. He stood up for me, and he said something to me when he was young. And it was a thing that a kid could only say that's very wise. But he said, like, a lot of times guys would say racist stuff, would call me the K-bomb. And then one day, Portia gave me 100 Rand for school fees. That was what school fees were.
Yes. Can we go back?
And I took the 100 Rand and I forgot what it was for. So I told everyone, I'll buy everyone sweets. And everyone was suddenly my friend. And Shaw said, listen, they're only your friend now because you have money. But
So I was wise already, eh?
Wise, bro. Like grade 2, grade 3. It's wild. Yeah. So then that's school. Then then Charles and I, we going. So then after grade 1, they said, "Lucky, listen, you can't continue. You don't know how to speak Afrikaans. You're not learning, so they need to hold you back." Because now, obviously, I didn't have pre-primary school education. I just went from living to going to school, grade 1. They then said, "Okay, cool. They're going to hold me back for 12 months, and then I'm going to start grade 1 again." And I had to do this like kind of feeder school where I had to learn everything. And then Charles continued, but I was a year young anyways. And I remember.
So then it all just worked out.
Kind of worked out. And then I remember Charles' my mom then saying, "Okay, Lucky, listen, would you like to come to Charles' birthday party?" And I was like, "Yo, cool. Yo, when is that? Let's go. Let's do this. Let's make it happen." And he's like, "Yo." And then she was like telling me the concept of a birthday. Now, I'd never had a birthday. So for me, and it's weird. We don't think about that. We grew up in a westernized world where birthdays are a thing.
Did you even know when your birthday was?
No. So I'll tell you now how that came about. But my mom's like, "No." So she's explaining the concept to me. I'm like, no. Then she's like, "Okay. When is your birthday?" I'm like, "No, I don't." No. So she then goes to the school and asks him. The school says, "No, we don't have a birthday for him." And then she's like, "No." So now she becomes what any mother does and needs to find out. And she asks. Then she's like, "Listen, I'm going to take this child to Sandon Clinic and I'm going to find out when his birthday is." And I think it took a lot of convincing, but the school eventually let her. They took me to Sandon Clinic and then they scanned. It was these 3 fingers. So your index, middle, and ring finger. And they do that thing that you've seen it in CSI. You know when they say like, "Oh, Jane Doe or John Doe is how old?" That's the same process as how they date dinosaurs. You know, they can go, "Oh, this bone is 46 million years old."
I'm surprised this is a real thing.
This is a real thing. This is a real thing. So it's I don't know if it's right.
My fingers look so old. Wrinkled.
No, I don't know if it's carbon dating, but it's similar to that. That's what it's kind of
interesting.
called. So they scan these 3 fingers, then they can tell, okay, John or Jane Doe is born on, so they worked out I was born in 1987. Okay. And then they could say, we can work out between which month he's born. So they could say, Lucky's born between July and September. So then my mom said, "Okay, let's take the middle month, August, and let's take the middle day, 15th of August." And that's how she worked on my birthday. And that's my birthday till today. So I could be anywhere between it, but the window is quite small, so it doesn't really matter, but it's still in the same year.
Yeah.
So
and how does your birth certificate? 15th of August?
15th of August.
Okay.
So then my birth certificate, what happened was when I got adopted eventually later on, my mom then took that date and set it up as this is him because they had to do the stuff they had to go through because it's not like now.
So you grew up not even knowing when your birthday was?
Didn't have a birthday till I was like 7. That's why I think I like my birthday so much because it's like special. It's like,
Yes.
Yeah. But so then, then got a birthday. My brother and I, he taught me how to play rugby because I would see him play rugby. My dad was a big rugby guy, but my brother hated rugby. Absolutely hated it. Oldest brother never played rugby. But Charles was a rugby player. He was good at it, but he hated it. So I said, "Listen, I want to play rugby. I want to," but I used to cry because I was so thin and I would get hurt. And he's like, "No." So he trained me, bro. He trained me, like he made me tackle him. I got hard. And then I think he was the first kid at Florida that played first team at grade 7, grade 6, grade 5. So he was the first kid at that school to play first team. Then I was the second. Okay. Because and then me and him played together, bro, and that was so cool.
That must have been awesome.
That was sick. Like when you play first team with your brother and he's like grade 6 and I'm grade 5, and then there's still like these grade 7s are like, what are these 2 young kids? Dude, they used to make me do all kind I had to fold in one shirt because I was the youngest, but it was fun. It was an experience like I wouldn't give it back to anyone, But so then my brother and I grew up together. We went through a lot of racist stuff, and he always stood up for me. And then then we separated when I went to high school because he went to Florida World School and I went to St. Stithians. And then
I think you're playing this down a bit because according to my knowledge, you were very good at rugby.
No, I was.
St. Stithians gave you a bursary for rugby.
So played. So we did. I think they used to call it Nike All Stars in grade standard 4. And then Craven Weekend standard 5, and then got a scholarship to Saints. And I remember getting this like conversation with this coach, and he's like, "Do you want to go to Saints?" And I looked at my mom like, "No," but because at the time, Florida was the best rugby school in the country. It was one of the top. They hadn't
I still
lost.
don't think it's a bad school.
It's
Rugby
not, no,
school.
it's not a bad school. But
Like,
they
no,
worked.
I think, yeah.
They used to win the thing called the Beeld Trofee, which
Okay.
is kind of now like the newer Transvaal. But the Beeld Trofee, they used to win it every single year. They won it for like 6 years in a row. In fact, my brother-in-law, which is my sister's husband,
Yeah.
he played from like standard 6 first team to matric. He's also an animal. So he ended up, and I used to always like look up to him as well. And yeah, then ended up playing Cravenhoek and going to Saints, and that was then. Played
How was the language transition then? Because now you've gotten into Afrikaans, obviously.
Just learned it. Just started
Jy
to
kan nou
learn.
die taal praat.
Now I'm comfortable, and then boom into a new. And English is a very difficult language.
Yeah.
And if you grow up talking Afrikaans, understanding it, and you getting to it now, and then suddenly you're thrown into this. Grade 8 was harder for me than matric. Grade 8 was harrowing, dude. I remember there were days where I remember when we had to do math stuff. And you have to do algebra and this and that. And it's just absolutely, the concepts in your head are going, if I can't understand what they're meaning, I can't express it was just a nightmare.
How did rugby shape your life?
I did a lot, I think the most important thing for me, and I say this to anyone, and I say this to parents, they say to me, I don't know what my child should play. I'm like, your child should play, if they want to play an individual sport like golf or tennis, cool, but they should play one team sports, because team sport teaches you everything. It teaches you communication. It teaches you to, rugby taught me that. So my dad had a rule. I fought once on a rugby field. He took me off. So if you fight again, you'll never play again. And I was like, never again. So I remember at Saints as well. When I was at Saints, somebody called me the K-bomb. And
you could do
I
nothing
couldn't do
about it
nothing.
because
I
that was
calm.
it. That
I
would have been
calm.
your end of your
and
career.
I remember there was a mate of mine came to me, old Krause, may he rest in peace. He said to me, don't worry, lucky I got this. Oof,
nice.
Krause hit this boy hard, bro.
Nice.
And also, and I remember as well, there was another game, the guy called, and I just said, don't worry, he's gonna go blind. He said it in Afrikaans, I'll come. And I said to the 8th man, just move out the way. And I hit that boy hard, bro. But it's so listen, the violence is there, but and if you don't understand rugby and you look at it, but any team sport. So, and I say this to everyone. So I was fortunate enough to play rugby. Then I got to Saints and I got to do rowing. Now, people that don't know rowing, in a boat, there's a guy in the front of the boat that's facing backwards, but he's the first person. It's called the stroke usually, unless the boat is rigged a different way. In rowing, every single person has to move exactly the same way. And
in sync.
In sync. If you are out of sync, the boat completely it's a nightmare. And rowing showed me that. And there's no, you can feel. So the boat does this thing where it does this back and forth. And then when you're going at a really fast pace, you hear bubbles under the boat. And it's the most, and at 5 a.m. when you're rowing,
and it's quiet.
And all you hear is click, click, and that's the blade going in, ripping through the water, pushing it, coming out, and then in again. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. And I remember getting onto a boat and rowing and seeing this, and then I understood why anyone likes the sport. I understood the team aspect. It's not you. You like soccer's. Sometimes there's the Ronaldo's, the Messi, but rugby, like Rassi showed us, guys. It doesn't matter who you are, who we're putting on. You got to have our backing, and we got to back you. You know what I'm saying? And I love that. I love that aspect. So team sport for me, rugby, it's incredible, the togetherness to it. Yeah.
Do you remember the moment you realized your childhood story is not like anyone else's?
Yeah, listen, I do. I've the stuff that I've experienced and the stuff that I've gone through. It's and I think you're the same as me. I live my life in that aspect so now when I get up in the mornings and I run, I know that the hard thing sucks, but it's good for you. And that's what's kind of shaped me. So, when I was young and it was happening, I was too dumb or too young to understand why it's happening. It sucked. And I've now gone, as I'm getting older, so say you open your calendar on Monday and you look at it and it's just things.
Chock and block.
Now you're already you're in a foul mood. You're upset. You're just angry, bro. But you know that when that's done at the end of the week, whenever, you're gonna feel good because you've accomplished something. And I always joke. I say I'd love to be a stay-at-home dad, but we're not like that. We're not built like that. Guys like us don't. Girls like us, we can't be. And that's why I'm with my wife. I like that she's hardworking person, and she's phenomenal at what she does. That aspect for me is the chasing to be better is the most important thing. And the stuff that's happened to me, it sucks. And I think a lot of people maybe would have broken some people, maybe it would have, but it's good that it's happened. And the story is unique. That's what I love about it. And they even stole the movie. They even stole my life story and made a movie of it and called it Lucky. And then when we contacted them, they're like, "No, this is not about you."
Don't joke, South Africans.
Swear to God, bro. Swear it's a movie called Lucky, and you'll see it's a black child and the mother's Indian. And go check out the movie. Google the movie, you'll find it.
No ways.
No, bro.
And they denied it.
They denied it. No. I mean, listen, if that name
And at that stage, you'd already told your story.
told
It
the
was
story,
everywhere on the
dude,
media.
It was everywhere on the media.
Okay.
It was on. I mean, Carte Blanche did my movie. My mom phoned me, said, "Listen, did you talk to Carte Blanche about your story?" And I said, "No." And it was on Carte Blanche. She says, "Go turn the TV on." I was at boarding school. Go turn your TV on. Go check it. There it is.
I think we must phone. What's her name? DB.
Yeah.
Wasn't that?
and it's a guy like the blacked out mask, talking in the deep voice.
One of those.
Yeah, bro. And it's just,
jeez.
and you know what the thing is, I don't mind people sharing the story and talking about it, but we shouldn't be allowed to steal other people's
No,
stories. You know what I'm
for
saying?
Like, even if it is a movie.
I'm
like,
the one that lived it, so at least then let's have a conversation. Let's make a deal.
yeah, maybe you're not going to act lucky, but, but come listen to the real story.
Exactly. So
Let me approve the script.
Yeah. So that's a bit sad, but yeah, it's
Wow.
it's and there were elements. I mean,
Well, if they wondered why it didn't go anywhere, now hopefully it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah. That's why.
Murphy's a bitch.
Murphy's law, yeah. But yeah, no, it's good that it has happened and it has made me who I am, yeah. And I think that's why we become who we are. You know what I'm saying? I think that whole thing of God puts in your path what you can handle, and that's great. That's good because He knows that you're strong enough. I just wish, that's the thing is, like, imagine you had this knowledge when you were young, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're young, dude, when you're young, I remember a girlfriend breaking up with me. I was so bleak. Yo! I was angry, bro. I was so angry. I thought it was the end of the world. And now you look at yourself, you're like, man, that was
If that's the only thing that can happen now, yeah.
it's a drop in the ocean. It's wild what you kind of, the stuff that happens to you, the character that it builds, yeah.
Yeah, the little bit of time I've spent with you, I've noticed that family means everything to you.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you now than when you were a kid?
So
all of that must have shaped what your family means to you now.
My family's easily shaped me, and there's only one regret I have about my family is that I didn't spend a lot of time when I was younger. But so what I mean is when I was in high school from grade 8 to matric, when we spent holidays in Plate, I would rather be out with my mates. I was a teenager.
Don't be hard on yourself.
But I do regret that because I spend time with my family now and I love it. I love, like, my oldest brother and I have a different connection to Vishal and I. My sisters, Erica, Leonardo, we have a different relationship with each other.
Are they all in Joburg?
Yeah, they're all in Joburg.
Awesome. Okay.
So it really is nice. And so my parents, and it sounds weird, I don't think my parents raised me. So they raised me to like maybe a grade 7, so 13. And then everything else, I never asked my parents, why did you do that or whatever. I think I had to watch my brothers and sisters. And I think a lot of people that have older siblings see that. And I remember, like, my oldest brother, he taught me, if there's one thing from each, my oldest brother taught you got to respect everybody, no matter who they are. And and he's always just full of life. Same as my sister. They're always just happy, let's go, let's do it. And that's the kind of thing. So watching them growing up and doing what they're doing and how they did it, it kind of taught me a lot about life. But family is, dude, it's everything. Like, things are going to happen, and it's also weird when you have your family, then you break away and you get married. Now this is the new family. Yeah. Now you got to now look after this, and it's weird that all your loyalty, you still have this loyalty, but it changes that you have this now, and you got to go. I got to do what's best for them over what's best for my sister or my brother. You know what I'm saying? And that's a weird thing. It's a weird transition that you got to have. But, maturity kind of teaches you that you got to, this is now the new family. And my mom said that, like, lucky, you got to do what's best for you and the family. And that's good. Yeah. But I look at my kids now, man, I'm just, I'm fortunate. I'm fortunate to, you're the same, like having kids and just them being healthy and having everything and just being who they are and looking, my daughter is, hilarious. She's 4, bro. But the stuff she says,
I wonder where she gets it from.
no, she's got a dark humor like my wife, bro. Dangerous. Like if people heard the stuff my wife said behind closed doors, we'd be cancelled. We'd be cancelled. Yeah. No, but family is I can't because I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for my family. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have gotten this far. I would have given up on myself. I would have been somewhere else. I would have gone into drugs. I would have definitely, a lot would have happened to me if it wasn't because of family.
Was there ever a time, talking about going into drugs and stuff, was there ever a time when the weight of adoption actually really hit you hard and you thought...
I think when people made fun of me, like, you know, because I was brought up in a white household called Oreo, coconut. I think that stuff, but you know what's weird? The jokes, they were never heavy. They were never like,
they weren't heavy because maybe you didn't allow them to be heavy.
Yeah, I think
and that's just your personality.
Maybe it's my personality.
Yeah.
I think so they were the light jokes, oh, you're Oreo, you're coconut because you're not black enough or you're not white enough for this. But so I was always stuck in between that world. But yeah, the weight of adoption, and what's weird is because I've spoken to so many kids that were adopted and they ask for advice, when they ask me the questions, I always wonder why they feel like that or why they felt like that. And that for me was fascinating because many like a lot. So I'll tell you this, my sister dated a guy and she said to him, your family needs to kick him out the house, otherwise we can't continue dating. So my
Kicked you out the house?
Kicked me out the house.
Oh, wow.
Otherwise, they can't. So, and my sister was in love with this guy, so she kicked him to the curb. So also my mom, I was
what? Another family? Oh, wow.
No, another guy. Just random.
He's not even part of
You're not even part of the family.
It's not even an uncle or an auntie.
Yeah, no.
Jeez. What am I listening to?
my
people are...
My mom once, I was supposed to come home from boarding school and she's like, no, listen, we actually away. There's nobody at the house. Can you go to a friend's house? And I was like, okay, cool. Years later, my mom told me there was a guy had come with a gun and he was calling my name and he was shooting outside our house. And my mom's like, lucky can't, because if I come home and then go out somewhere, something bad might happen because of this guy. And apparently I dated this guy's girlfriend years before. So we dated years before. Now, why are you angry now with me, bro? I'm done with her. Like, so it's like little weird things happened to me, but it was, it's a strange. I will say this. I hope that in the future we don't look at ourselves as white, black, colored Indian. I hope we look at ourselves as just people.
I think we're getting there.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because
I know there's always going to be that handful of people.
Yes.
And I'm going to say the handful of people that don't want to accept that. And unfortunately, those people are bringing up their kids. Yeah. So there will always be the handful.
That. But have you seen your kids now? So your kids are what? How old are they?
Yeah. So my smallest is 6 and then Reese is 18.
Yeah. Have you seen their friendships? Their friends. They multicolored. You don't know who's who. When I was a matric, I think I was one of 3 guys who had interracial relationships. Now, if you go to a matric dance, you don't know who's with you. And a lot of people don't understand it. It's a great thing. We've had we had a bad history, really terrible history. But for us to be able to get where we are, and that's also why.
And it's a short time also.
It's a very short time.
I know 1994, for example, sounds of a long time ago.
It takes countries hundreds of years to get where we are.
If they ever get there.
And also we've got other things that are problem, you know what I'm saying? The lights aren't on. We've got a lot of other problems. And I don't understand, people don't understand how phenomenal this is. Like,
maybe that's what helps us. All the other problems.
we got other guys. But I look at it and I look at these youngsters and my friend, I'll tell you the story. My friend says to me, his daughter, so he's white. His daughter comes to him and says to him, it's important for the story. His daughter comes to him and says, listen, Dad, Ziggy's coming over to play at our house. And the dad and the mom's like, who's Ziggy? He goes, you know Ziggy, she's friendly, she always does those faces, whatever. And they cannot for the life of them figure out who Ziggy is. Anyways, comes out that Ziggy's a little black girl in their school. And so the dad goes, so why don't you just tell us a little black girl? Then the mom says, because they don't think like that.
They don't see color.
Oh. So Diego doesn't. The other day, Diego says to me, Dad, you're quite dark compared to us and Mom. And I'm like, yeah. That's why you guys are like in between us and then Mom and I, and they don't see it like that. For them, and then he looked at me and says, okay, cool. And he went on. And I see his friends now. He's got 3 Nathans, all friends. One's black, one's white, one's Indian. So when he has to say to me, he doesn't say Black Nathan, or he goes Nathan A, Nathan
Yes,
B.
Nathan, I was going to say Nathan A.
Nathan B, because that's his surname, Nathan
Yeah.
A and Nathan B, and that's it. And I love that. I love that we are going somewhere. And it's a beautiful place, man.
So you spoke about being calling names and stuff. Your surname, Du Plessis, is
Yeah.
traditionally Afrikaans.
Yeah.
How did you handle that? I'm sure.
It was easy and it was hard. So listen, when I played rugby and I was great, it was good. Then people were on your side. You know what I'm saying? It's the whole thing that's happening at FIFA, where if you're playing phenomenal for a club, they love you. But as soon as you play badly, especially the black players, then they call you names. So that's kind of how it was. So when I played rugby and I was really good, it was Du Plessis, 2+3, that's hey boys, die gaat ons. But then there were parties and things where no, now you're black again. And that was kind of hard. But it was the reality we lived in. It was the era we lived in. But it's made me stronger. Listen, and I love it. Like, I mean, my wedding ring, it's now my wedding ring, but this was my wife bought it for me. It was originally a signet ring, but it's got my family emblem on it.
Yeah, the crest.
The crest. And then I made it my wedding ring because I actually hated my wedding ring. My wife's like, oh, thanks. I was like, I said, no, but I still love you. But I have to say, I can't explain to you how proud I am to be a Du Plessis because of what my family's given to me. I mean, I'm even planning now to get so it's going to be a tattoo of the crest on my chest and whatnot.
Nice.
So it's, and I understand it now why where you come from and what you made and your family. I love and my mom always says, she goes, you're the proudest Du Plessis we have. Like, your sisters couldn't care less. They couldn't get rid of those. They could get rid of those names quicker than you could say Du Plessis. But I am because I think it's what shaped me. And there's obviously dark parts and dark places and dark things that have been said, but now I'm like, that's good. That's good because that it got to a good place. So yeah.
I want to get onto mental health because
It's important, brother.
it's important,
Guys
and
don't talk about it.
especially what you've dealt with. But if you could speak to young Lucky in the middle of all the chaos, and I gave you an opportunity now and said, speak to young Lucky, what would you tell him?
First thing I would say is stop the cutting corners, brother. Do the squats, do the lunges. That's how I got these chicken legs, dog. These chicken legs could have gone so far, really. They could have gone so far. That's the first thing. I would have said, do the squats, do the lunges, stop cutting corners. That's the first thing. But I would say, so I lived a crazy life and I had a lot of fun. I was risky. I mean, I died at 15 years old. I drank a bottle of vodka, resuscitated back to life, died.
Wow.
Because I was naughty. So because of
Since the this wasn't your fault.
the Saints, that was not your fault. But because I was, I had high pressure and I had to keep my scholarship and I had to play A-team all the time. I had to, continue A-team rowing. I had to continue doing that. Then, I had a lot of pressure of, the things that are happening. And I kind of went and did crazy. So when Oaks were, having 1 or 2 beers, I would have like 10.
You were the guy with the funnel.
Yes, let's do it. Yeah. But I would say to myself, just slow down and don't let people get to you. So my biggest weakness now, and I try to work on it, as I try to make, I'm much better with it now, but I try to make people like me. And do things for that. But like when I was younger, and now I'm more like I do what's important for me, and that works. But whatnot. But I think I would go back and say, hey man, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. We think everyone's watching us all the time, judging us every second. People aren't. They're so busy with their own lives that they are just trying to survive themselves. And because you're thinking they're watching you, they're looking at you, you are putting so much pressure on yourself. So just enjoy it, slow it down, and don't drink as much. Yeah.
So you've been through a lot, what most people in a lifetime don't go through. The early age scars, and I know you spoke about the drip dry thing and all of that. Where else do these scars show up in your adult life?
So one is important now, so I'm trying to be better. Is I hope you've gathered, if you listened or watched the podcast, you've gathered that I was quite a naughty kid, but it's now affecting my son and I don't know why my son, but I'm quick to yell at him because I was so naughty. I know that when he's going to do something, I know where it's going to lead to. So I'm like, don't do that. And I've actually, so now I now know. So I've subconsciously, boy, listen, we don't need to do that. Don't do that. You're going to hurt yourself. But he's trying stuff. I also realize that his mind is going, oh, what would happen if I do this? And then, there's some things that I don't let him do. Like he wants to always light the fire. And I'm like, no, you can light the fire, boy. Stack the wood and then light the fire. But don't light the fire and then walk around with the thing and go and see what else you can light. So
please don't.
So it has affected, and it's wrong because it's not his fault. He's just being a little boy, and because I was naughty, I mustn't assume he's going to be naughty. So that's kind of affected, and it's caused me to scream. Not a lot, but I now know that I'm doing it because I know how naughty I was. I know where it can lead to. So I'm trying to curb that, but also by curbing that, you're not letting him live. You know what I'm saying? And that's affecting me. So those scars of what I did when I was younger is now and I shouldn't let him. I should let him be what he be. And if he does it, then we go, hey, boy, listen, Dad also used to do this, but don't do that. So that's the stuff. And I've got to be honest, it's the one thing I feel disappointed in myself as a parent. But parenting's hard because, you say to yourself, okay, don't scream now. But the fifth time, now you're like, dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's parenting it's a difficult situation.
No, and I feel you. And I've got the same story, different subject. I've got a gambling past, and my middle son, I've got a Lagan who is turning 16 next year. Yeah. And also, like, I snap quickly with him. Yeah. Because I can see the signs. Yeah. And like,
but does he want to gamble?
Samantha, no, not even that, but just also the naughtiness.
Yeah.
And Samantha, who's his stepmom, my wife, will tell me, you're too hard on him. You can't be like this. Yeah. And it's just because, and I said, but I don't want him to turn out like me. Yeah. I don't want him to.
But we assume that. And it's such a strange thing.
Yeah.
We're trying to stop it before it's happening. But by stopping it before it's happening, you're not allowing it to happen, or it could have never happened. It's like that whole Minority Report thing. If you stop a crime, if you know a crime's going to happen and you stop before it happens, the crime hasn't happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, that's the trickiness of parents because, and every day, parenting is a new book every day, bro. Every day it's a new book.
And you don't know what's there was a book that didn't change.
Yeah. So that's for me is the thing that I'm looking at the scars in a sense of what's affecting my kids. And other than that, I think my I've got fears in me that because my mom and my sisters have told me, like, if you hurt Bianca, like, we'll kill you. We will kill you because they love her so much. But I'm a one woman man. I'm happily married. And I said it the other day to mates of mine. I'm like, if you had to be in the dating game now,
imagine.
Have you seen the?
I was actually talking to this about my wife. Never mind my mate.
Have you seen how ratchet it is out there, bro? Have you read those confessions? Yes. Dude, there's things that are going on. It's crazy.
But imagine everything. You got to go meet new parents now. Like, you find this new chick, you got to go meet the parents now. Like, I don't have time for that nonsense.
I don't have time for that. Like,
And then they don't like you.
Then they don't like you now. You got to be like, yeah. So,
no, geez, I'm on your page there. Your mental space, how do you protect it? Because you're obviously in the public eye. Everyone sees the radio guy. When you're alone, what do you do?
The golden thing for me, mental space wise, to control it is you have to have a hobby or something. Everyone thinks that this new fitness phase that everyone has, whether it is CrossFit, High Rocks, gymming, running, cycling, is a phase that's happening. What people don't understand is that the world has changed, and we've all realized that doing that takes off so much anxiety from us that it allows us to then live better. If I don't train in the morning, I'm not as efficient. If I don't run in the morning, cycle, swim, whatever it is, I'm not my 100% self. I'm not thinking clearly. There's fog in my brain, and I'm not as sure of myself. So my mental health starts with I've got to train, and it's a non-negotiable for me as well. This is the first thing. We wake up, we have the coffee, we take the kids, and then we do that. Then we do it. Then it's, that kind of window. And once I've done that, then it's everything else. And I've seen it. Like, if I've got 12 things I got to do today, if I don't run, I'll finish 6 of them. If I've run, and even if it's been a long run, 15, 20 Ks, and I'm out there, I'm struggling, the sun is just leaning on me, and I get back, I'm exhausted, I head through that checklist, bro. Because it is this. I don't know how, like, think about it now, right? Do you know anyone that doesn't train that is like mentally very like well put together?
Yeah, and I don't, because I was actually having this conversation with a mate of mine.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. The people that I do know that is put together and well, all they do is train.
Yeah.
They're either runners or they're living in the gym, not living in the gym, but they're training twice a day.
Yeah.
And their lives are perfect.
Yeah. Listen, my wife will probably kill me for saying this, but she broke her ankle it's now 15 weeks ago. Broke her ankle 3 places. She hasn't been able to train. She's in a bad place now. And I can see it. And I know it's because she can't go to gym. Now she just goes and she spins and she loves it. It helps her
But
mentally.
that 45 minutes.
Dude, that 45 minutes, it doesn't matter. If you just even if you're going to the treadmill to walk and there's people around you, and you also, the thing is, people don't understand this. It's not just sometimes the running, the cycling, the swimming. It's the being in a space where people are suffering together.
Community.
That's why they say, exactly. That's why they say the army, the SEALs, the Rangers, those oaks are so, because they suffer together. Then they have something in common that just holds. They got the other stuff, but this is the thing that's going to go, okay, cool. How are we going to get through this together? And she's, and I can see work has been hectic, because also her work is an absolute nightmare. I'd rather not have a job than have her job.
Wow. You know what I'm saying? Is it that hectic?
It's that hectic. So I can see it. And I've actually said to her, I said, so now her surgery's got to be in 2 weeks. But I said to her, listen, maybe the other day, just go and maybe do the arm thing. Do something, because you've got a tension on you that you need to take away, that the what's the name can help. And that's what this training is. And people think it's a fad that we're going through. They're like, oh, what's going to be the next big thing? You know, what's after high rocks? Oh, now it's paddle. Oh, and people don't understand is, yes, it is. And maybe it is a cult. It is kind of like a cult, but that it's the thing that's it keeps us sane, guys. It does, man.
Yeah. What I found amazing, I was invited to an event and we did a live podcast at this event in Bedford View, where it was a coffee rave.
Yes,
the guys there
at a bakery.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was at a plateau.
Yeah.
And there was a DJ and the guys were dancing and they
Yeah.
all got coffees in their hands. At 8 a.m. they just come back from a run. And this place was packed.
It's the biggest thing in New York now, bro. It's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
They go to the run club and then they go to this coffee rave. And they just jaw, and it's a thing. But because also, so the new generation, I don't know, your kids are, but they do things different to us. So like we come from a generation of binge drinkers and party hard or whatever. So they either zebra stripes, so they drink on or, so alcoholic, non-alcoholic, whatever, and they don't drink to get smacked. Whereas we used to drink to. That's what we used to do. They do more things like coffee raves and whatever, because they want to enjoy it. So they go out to a festival. They actually drink one drink, enjoy the festival, the shows, the cinematics, everything about it, instead of getting there to get hammered. Because and when I think back at it, I'm like, that's so wild. We went to these events and we think we were at these events, but we were just going to a prettier place to get hammered. That's all it was.
No,
if you underline it, we just went to different, beautiful, more aesthetically pleasing places to get hammered.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Reese, my daughter, she's finishing school. She's just started finals today.
Yeah.
But I think if she's tasted alcohol 5 times, I can count it on one hand.
Yeah. It
And
doesn't.
there's no interest.
They don't have an interest in it.
And it's not just, you're going to say to me, oh, but she's a girl. I'm going to go, no, because I see the friends that she's, like the boys, they're not getting pissed.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend is in Tux. Joel's in Tux first year university.
Yeah.
And yes, he studies a hectic degree, but he's not drinking. He's not going to these pubs and stuff, getting smashed.
So
Like,
it's a beautiful
changing.
thing. It's really changing, and I think people are finding out that there's a lot more to life than, because I think we thought the world was hectic. Now it really is, and people are trying to go, let's slow down and really enjoy it. Let's see what things are.
I wonder if SAB is worried about this. What's happening?
I was thinking exactly the same thing. I was thinking the exact same thing. But then again, our generation's still alive and well, so they're doing. They're gonna be fine.
They're living on us.
They're gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine.
They're living
every
in-
case they don't buy, we buy. Yeah.
If someone out there that's listening today is broken, and feels unwanted, what would you say to him? What do you say to those people that come to you that you speak about?
I was thinking about this the other day, but what would you have to do if you had to restart your life? You've hit rock bottom, you've lost maybe everything. Maybe it was gambling, maybe it was drinking, maybe it was something. I don't know. And I thought about like, what would you say to somebody? And this is just a method for me that works. I would say to them, start from zero and ask yourself, okay, if you've lost everything, what's the most important thing to you? Is it living? And what is living? What does it mean to you? Is it going out, partying, drinking? Or is living as in, I just want to be alive for my kids, or I want to be alive because I think I found you? What is it? Ask yourself, what is the start again? Then once you've done that, because I'm a list guy, then go, okay, cool, what do I want? Once you go, okay, I want, like now I'm in this phase now, I'm like, I've been training to run, and then I'm like, I don't know if it's running because I'm running, but I'm happy, and then I'm like, okay, but what is it? And then I'm like, okay, it's maybe I want to be at a fitness level. It's not maybe the running for me. It's I want to be at a, like maybe you want to be a men's health guy, or you want to be, what level is it that you want to be at? Then once you figure that out, then go to yourself and how are we going to do that? You got nothing. You got no one. You don't have mom and dad. You don't have friends. You don't know. How are you going to get it? Because you got to start. You can't ask a lot of yourself and try and fix everything. You can't. Let everything go and start from zero. What's the most important to you? How are you going to do it? And then you start from there. And then you just go because, dude, life is complex. There's so many variables. There's so many things. There's work. There's friendships. Is that you got to keep these people happy? Don't worry about that. Just ask yourself. And that's why sometimes you see people and you're like, and they heavily depressed, and they drive Range Rovers and they've got phenomenal things, but they are depressed. And then you look at it and every weekend they're with the richest people, but they're not really happy because these people aren't true, real mates. Yeah. My friendship group that I have now, the ones that I think you've seen maybe me at school, whatever. I said to my wife when I dropped my son at Trinity, I said, don't make friends with these people. So don't make friends with these people.
Hey, I don't need new friends.
I said, I don't need new friends. I'm good. I'm all set.
The opposite happened.
Oh my God. But
it's crazy.
Weird,
even
now,
us, eh?
Yeah. Now I look at it now. I'm like, wow. Our kids are at school together, and you're now going to make a new group of friends, and these might be the friends that you years from now, and now you understand it why your parents were friends with maybe one of your siblings' friends, but not your friends. Yeah. And I understand it now because these are the people that they got the same things, but they bring the same thing to you, and I heard this beautiful quote, bro. I'm gonna mess it up, and I'm gonna try to fix it. I'm gonna try to say it right. If you had to go to a dinner, okay? And you couldn't go, you fell ill suddenly, and they say to you, okay, can you replace somebody that is going to bring the same energy as you, a friend of yours? Who would it be? Then take that person, okay, cool, you say, cool, they must go. But then you think about every single one of your friends and you go, let's see what thing they fulfill. So I've got a mate. So this morning I had two mates that I ran with. One, he fills a different role than the other friend of mine. The other friend of mine, me and him are meme guys. We talk, but we like DIY stuff. We like building. Then I've got this mate who is on the same running group as us, but me and him talk about deeper kind of stuff and really. And then I've got a mate who me and him have a business, and it's strange. Every mate is different, but together, all of these mates make you feel whole. And you look at it and you're like. And that's when you know you're blessed because you're going, at any time you could call them or him or her or them and you could feel, and when you're with them, you're sitting there sometimes and everyone's talking and you're just looking around and you're like, oh, sorry, I'm swinging now. You're like, goodness, like, wow, this is, you're blessed. You're in a good place. And I hate that word, blessed. But yeah.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about it. You got to look at your friends like that and go, man, like, and I love meeting new people. And I say to my wife, I don't want new friends, but
I just want to see. Check my goosebumps.
Yeah.
I just want you to.
even last week, like when I saw you at so our sons play soccer together. I saw you, and I was like, and we were laughing because we saw each other at the rugby. And then I was meeting everybody, and I was like, we were laughing and really joking. And I was like, oh, I could be friends with these people. These are good people. And I thought about that. It's like we don't like change, but it's nice when you find new people and they kind of similar values and they fun and it's weird because like at our age usually like our parents they had 3 friends, bro.
Yeah.
4 friends max, that was it. Yeah. Now we're yeah. So
but let me tell you, all those people that you met at the soccer,
yeah,
they're all new friends to me too.
Oh really?
Okay, so they're all new friends, but let me tell you, I don't think in the last 2 months have I had a weekend without them.
Yeah.
If it is
Yeah,
soccer matches or if it's golf.
I thought you guys have been friends for years.
No,
Yeah.
they're new friends,
Yeah.
and we've just gelled. Samantha and Kaylee did a My Fitness event together.
Yeah.
When you asked the question, who would that person be at your place? The first person that came to my mind was Leonard, which is Kaylee's husband, and you met him. Is I'll put Leonard there. Because Leonard will be outspoken, and everyone will get along with Leonard, and he's the first name that came to me.
And that's the thing. It's like
and they were met at school.
Yeah, so you're gonna be afraid of the new things, but that's the thing for me. Fear the new things, but know that they're gonna be better for you. They're gonna be good for you.
Say that again.
So fear the new things or the new challenge or the new way or the new whatever, but understand that you will be better on the other side of it because it's gonna help you to grow. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have some more questions on another subject, I would have ended it at that, but I'm not going to because you've been talking about something that I'm very passionate about, and that's running. And I want to get it a little bit into your running career. Dude. And I know you're a man for challenges because that's actually how we met.
Yes.
You had the challenge of the glasses.
Yeah.
And you came to me and you're like, I know you. I'm like, oh, I know you. My wife's like, babes, you know that. I'm like, no, I don't. But I had a few. She's like, that's lucky. I'm like, no ways. And we were at high ground.
Yeah.
But let's quickly chat a little bit running, okay? When was the first time and what did it feel like? Because I remember it when you realized running is just more than exercise.
So what was weird is when I was at school, I used to run with this guy. And at school, we had to do a ring road every day at Saints. Every day you had to do one ring road. Or every week you had to do minimum of 2 or whatever. And I ran with this guy. And now he runs Comrades and he runs a sub-6. And I used to beat him.
Yeah, we can't be friends.
And I'm like, this. And I was like, I gotta be. So, but I will say this. 2019, I was 2018, 2017. I just gymming. I just never, but because I kind of was flat, I don't know. But then 2019, I decided I'm gonna run Soweto that year. So I set myself the challenge to run it. I trained.
Straight, you're gonna run Soweto marathon.
Not
half marathon, marathon.
So I set out to do it, and I ran my first half marathon at Pirates in Feb or March, and I remember meeting death's door because the hills and anyone that's run Pirates knows that the hills on Pirates
is the toughest in Joburg.
You will see the death's door and then you will realize what life is like. It's wild, but it's a great run. It's a beautiful run. The vibe, the gears afterwards, yeah. So but I did. I remember running, and that's when I realized that running is it's why people call it a religion or a cult or whatnot, because your mind. So I'm a graphic designer in trade. So I'm a radio DJ, but I do my first ever job was a graphic designer as an art director for an ad agency. If I can't figure out an idea, now I run. Before I've done probably 3, 4, 5 Ks in, I would have solved that problem easily. Every single time. Now I'm talking about logo design, ads. Like I did the 2010 FIFA World Cup billboards for Sony. Like if you cannot solve a problem, go and exercise. Because I can guarantee you right now that in the middle of doing it, you will be able to solve any big problem you have. Unless it's black holes or quantum physics, that's a different story. Those folks have been trying for years, but
they're still trying to figure it out.
They're still trying to figure it out. They understand it, but no, but it is. It's if you, and it's not just running. It's exercise. Let's say that. But running has a beauty to it because the first case sucks. The first case, absolutely, it's horrendous. It's you wish you every time. Why are you doing this? Why are we doing this? Why? Then the joy starts. And then you get like 6 or 7 Ks in and it's beautiful. The scenery's changing. Your mind's at a different place. You start to think of things you're trying to solve. You're not ticking them off. Okay, do this. Okay, do that. And then if you are like me and you're time constrained, you need to get somewhere, you need to do something, you become sad because you know this is ending. And that euphoria or that feeling you have, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. And I've got this rule. I've broken up everywhere we live in Rampart Ridge. I've broken it up into blocks. So like Bayes Nordia, this side is block D. So I know that if I'm running block E, A, and C. And I run now, bro. I've run this. I've created new routes. Like every now and then I'm like, oh my God, there's a new street. There's another street here. I love it. I've made a game of it, and it's yeah.
Yeah, what's the saying? How do you know if you're a runner where it says 10Ks to get to Durban? You're like, oh, I can run that.
Yeah, I can run that. I can, yeah.
10Ks to get to Durban. Oh, I can run that.
Oh, God. And it is true what they say. We are insufferable, but yeah. It's
Talking about Durban, and I'm not going to put you on the spot because you told me your wife's going for surgery.
Yeah.
And I know what surgery takes out of a family, especially if you can't walk.
Yeah.
And you told me it's ankle surgery, so I'm not going to put you on the spot. I was going to put you on the spot.
No, listen.
So I'm glad you said your wife's going to surgery.
So I'll make you a deal. Next year, okay? Next year, I will do one of 5 things, okay? I'll either do 2 oceans, if it's still around. I don't know, there's big talks about
Apparently it is back.
Yeah,
but
is it? Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know when it's. I think there are dates because they've had the lottery already. So I think we kicked out. But like it does work for Jack Garanda.
Yeah, it's all right. We can talk to people. So
No pressure.
Comrades, I want to do a big high rock. So I'll do one of the big 5. So big high rocks or a big like I want to do like what JC was talking about now. What's it? Not running on the road.
Trail running.
Trail running. So I want to do a big event because the thing of so I've always had this rule, and if you're looking to set yourself goals, this is how you got to do it. I've got 2 things now. Back in the day, I'll say it quickly. Back in the day, I used to do this.
Oh, we got time. Don't stress.
I used to do this thing. I used to set myself goals in January, and then I would set it up. Now I've decided that I was messing it up. I was stupid. You got to set the goals in September, okay? Then from September to December, you decide how you're going to achieve those goals. You start working on it. So if you're going to run comrades, because that's why I got injured every year, because I would start training in January for comrades. You don't have 6 months to run 90 kilometers. It's crazy. So you start doing.
You got to have a little base.
You got to have a base
before you start the hard training in Jan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and this is the goal set that I used to do. I used to take an envelope. I would write 3 goals: easy, medium, hard. I would write the goals down on an envelope. I'd put them inside and I'd seal the envelope. And then I would give it to a mate. And then in December, we go for dinner. And then he opens and I see if I've achieved that. Because then if it's in your hands, I know I've got to do it.
You're accountable.
I'm accountable now.
Yeah.
Because when you set,
like
when you
that,
set your own goals, you can jippo it. You can say, "Oh no, I got injured," and you make excuses. But if I know that you got an envelope with my goals and I said I was going to do that, now there's things I got to do. I've got to now achieve things. I've got to work towards it.
So I don't know when last you've entered a race. So and that's what I do to achieve these goals. It's become expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, races have become expensive.
Expensive.
Trail races are even more expensive.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard.
Yeah.
3,900 rand for a 60-kilometer trail race.
You should be paying me. So.
Actually, there is a running club now that does pay people. I can't talk about it because it's got to do with gambling. So that purple club. Unfortunately, I can't enter that club, be part of that club because it's gambling. But it's that purple club. They're paying you They pay you for Bill Rowan. I think you get like 3,500 rand as a member. Yeah.
Wow.
For the 11-hour medal, they give you $1,000.
Oh wow.
So at least you're getting something when you run comrades. But so I enter the race because then you've entered. You've spent the money.
Yes.
So now if you're going to DNF, firstly, it's going to say next to your name when you search your name on Google, it's going to say DNF.
Yeah.
And secondly, you're losing the money.
Yeah.
So I go and I enter.
Yes. So then it sets you up. You got to do it. That's exactly what I did with Soweto.
Yeah. You set up.
In January, I signed up and did I have to qualify for Soweto?
No, you don't have to qualify for Soweto.
And cool, I was in. Then
so Comrades is the only race you got to qualify.
You got to qualify for.
And 2 oceans. You have to qualify. Cape Town Marathon, which is happening this weekend. Good luck to everyone.
Yeah.
You don't have to qualify for, but 2 oceans you got to, because it's an ultra.
It's an ultra. Yeah.
Okay. So Comrades normally opens 9 November.
Yeah.
November, December. We'll be chatting. I'm doing it again.
But you've run 3 now.
I'm going for number 4. Yeah. It's supposed to be number 5. I had a DNF.
Okay, if you had to, for those that are listening, if you've never run comrades,
check the radio, DJ changing it.
If you've never, so what if you could only do one training, like style or something, what would you do to run comrades? Would you do intervals? What would you do?
No, so it depends on your goal. Okay. as a novice, you would obviously...
let's say just finish.
Yeah, so now as a novice, you need to just finish.
Yes.
You don't have a timing goal, etc. Long runs. Long runs on a week, or once a weekend,
Yeah.
between 25 and 30 Ks.
Yeah.
Okay, get that run in, either on the Saturday or the Sunday. All right, a 3 hour. Okay, let's not talk kilometers. A 3 hour run, and it's got to be slow. Okay, LSD. It's not a drug. It's called long slow distance.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, it does the same as the LSD drug, probably while you're running.
Yeah.
Not that I know.
Yeah. So
But
a long, slow run.
a long slow run. And mine happened in the cradle, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got my friends, the cyclists, riding in that
It's a 30
circle.
loop, eh? It's a 30 loop.
It's actually 28K loop.
Oh, 28K loop.
28K loop, and that's perfect.
It doesn't matter which way you go, you're always going uphill or downhill, eh?
Yeah.
So it's the same.
So it's a loop. It's the same.
Okay.
Okay. And you get those done every weekend. Okay. Yes, there'll be some weekends because you're gonna race. You're gonna go run marathons, and then you make the marathon your training run.
Yes.
So sometimes you'll race it because you want a qualification time or a seeding time or whatever. But as a novice, don't go race things. Just go and enjoy it.
Just go and enjoy it. Yeah.
The journey to your first comrades.
It's just to finish.
Like, I get jealous when someone says to me, I'm doing my first comrades. I am so
Stoked.
jealous.
Yeah.
Like, wish I can have my first comrades back. And you don't get it back ever again. It's never the same as that first. Walking into that expo as a novice. Like standing in that start line when Inkosi Sikelele comes on.
Oh.
And then Shoza Loza.
Yeah.
Like, look at this.
I've got goosies.
But like, you never feel the same again.
Jeez.
Like novice, and forget about your seeding. Okay? Forget about your seeding. My best comrade was my first one.
Yeah.
I did it in 10 hours 20.
That's good.
But it was the biggest joy of my life that day. I felt like a celebrity. Everyone was greeting me.
Yeah.
It was so special. So, yes, first comrades, just get those long runs because you've got to build the endurance tank.
Okay.
And that's what builds the endurance tank. And that's it. And then obviously in the week, you do your 8K runs. If your legs are tired.
Yeah.
I didn't do any intervals for my first comrades. To be honest with you, I didn't even have a coach. I then went and got coached by Mark Wolf.
Yeah.
And then intervals came in because I wanted to do the times, etc. But I didn't even do intervals. I lie. I went and did the Run Zone time trials, which is a 5K, and you try and beat your time, etc. But that's it. Lucky this podcast is going over an hour, and I feel I didn't do your story justice because of time. But your story proves that your past doesn't define you.
No.
And thank you for sharing it. It's powerful story. Keep sharing it. Everyone that comes out, I say we're gonna do round twos.
Yeah.
I think I need to give two things a break with my podcast. And that's Jacaranda presenters and Prime Circle band members. Between Jacaranda and Prime Circle,
Spoken to all of it.
yeah. But no, I'm just joking. We'll keep bringing the presenters in because, the best podcast I had was Danny and Felicity, and now you. So it's been amazing.
No, that's cool. Thank you, my brother. Now listen, it's always good. Me and you are going to be seeing each other a lot soon, so don't worry, that's all good.
No, we're still going to have a good time. We're still going to run together. Respect.
No, I'm going to. I'm telling you. I think, and also someone that now runs, you have to do comrades. It's as South African as going to a rugby game. You can't.
Every South African has to do a comrades.
If you're going to run, you have to say you did one. There's no time limit, just finishing it and doing it. And
before we end this podcast, I want you to know there's no such thing as one comrade.
Just like beer. There's no such thing as one beer. Yeah.
There's an up and a down, unfortunately, and you got to do both.
You got to do both, yeah.
And comrades were so clever, they give you a back-to-back medal.
Oh, yes.
They're very clever.
So after 2, you get actually 3 medals.
So you got to do a back-to-back. Yes. So when you do your back-to-back, they give you 2 medals. So you'll have your first novice medal. Then they'll give you for your second and another medal that says back-to-back. And you got to do it consecutive. If you don't do it consecutive, you don't get the medal.
You don't get the medal, yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Brother, respect. You're amazing. Your story's amazing.
Thank you.
Love what you do. Don't stop.
Yeah, thanks, my brother.
Thanks for listening, guys.